So Dan, I know you started out making this bet on high school, but you've evolved quite a bit since that time, and now you're focusing on sort of next generation athletes, maybe just out of high school. Talk to us about, give us a snapshot of where the company is today.
So today we still have our kind of our core business where we went after the audience. The average age of the kind of sports fan and season ticket holder of the big four sports is still in the 40s and 50s. And we made a big bet that we could go out and get that younger audience. And that younger audience is the core of our community. And what we did is we said, okay, we have this active community. We're on every social platform. They're super engaged with us. And let's launch our own leagues on top of that. And so we saw some opportunity in the marketplace. We saw opportunities for athlete empowerment. And we've built these leagues with kind of 17 to 19-year-old players. Some are high school age, some are out of high school. But really, it's about the audience. And I think that professional sports is incredible. But every generation kind of wants its own thing spoken in its own voice. And so we've launched a league in basketball and a league in football, where we think there's an opportunity to build millions and millions of fans and deliver them kind of sports in their own voice. And that's our big bet, and that's where the $100 million is going.
So what's the vision to expand these leagues and also, potentially cash in on media rights?
So really, our goal over the next 3 years is to grow audience. It's kind of an interesting thing because you become a sports fan because you have an emotional attachment to a team, to your city, to anything else like that. And we've got to get out there in front of all of our tens of millions of fans and convince them that our league is the league that they want to pay attention to. And as we do that, and we have already millions of followers on these leagues themselves, we want to bring on more sponsors. And I think the value that all investors see in sports leagues is rights, right? You have Amazon and Apple, you have more competitors in the market than you've ever had before. And we want to build a league that the fans like, but also that buyers of media rights like.
Now, the goal I know initially was to build this audience, 15 to 28-year-olds who love sports but aren't consumed by it the way their parents are. What does a young, healthy, sports-loving audience actually look like?
So I'd say first and foremost, they probably consume it in a lot of different places. And I think that's probably true of you and me to some extent as well. There's no single platform for sports anymore. You're kind of aggregating your information. But I'd say really two things. One is they want to see athletes who kind of are like them, who they can be aspirational towards. Doesn't mean that NBA or NFL athletes aren't amazing. They are, but the gap between those athletes and I think our athletes and the fan is smaller. And I'd say they want to be participants. They want to not just be expected to sit on the couch and watch, but they want to have input. They want to be spoken to. When I talk to young fans, they tell me, like, I want to be seen. I want to be heard for what I bring. And I think that that's obviously true across content and music and all aspects of culture. Like Gen Z and millennials, they want to put their stamp on it. They don't just want to consume it. And that's what we have to figure out how to continue to do as sports leagues.
I know you're also working on NFTs. Of course, there's been some skepticism about how big the NFT market can actually be. What are you betting?
I'm betting that NFTs are not an end in and of themselves, but they're a means to an end. And so if we can use NFTs to give our audience a chance to participate, to empower them, to activate their voice in the space, then that's amazing. If we just think about it as, oh, here's another revenue stream, or we should do the same thing as everyone else, I don't think we'll realize the full potential. But really, at the core, blockchain and NFTs are about decentralized participation and activating the audience. And that's always at the core of what we do. So in some way, I think of NFTs the same way I think it's social media, not in an end in of themselves, but like a platform to do more for the audience.